veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say 'Cause I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say veins, I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say veins, I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain, yeah. inspired by thirst, I'm inspired by worth. I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never did shit, I know it hurts. Something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want.
Upgrades.
What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy. We are back at y'all with a brand new one in effect. So, we got a few things to go over here. So, let's get started. We do have some brand new news as little as like 20 minutes ago. Maybe a little more. I could be a little bit off, but actually more like 30 minutes ago at this point. This is Marvel Future. This is a CM fragment of Marvel Future Fight. Get ready for the changes in March with the upcoming preparation event. Wrap it up. Gather your materials, all of the stuff. Collector's Vault closure. So this event is coming to an end. It is going, let me pull it up. It is going away. So make sure you guys keep that in mind. Also, the tier 4 artifacts, the main rewards of the event can now be obtained through the gold bonus mission. So we aren't losing the rewards, as you guys know. So we got the Collector's Hall starting on the 27th, so that's in a couple of days, and it looks like it's going to run for not even a week, actually. Purchase period of 3 days, so make sure you guys take advantage of that. This is the one where you can get the CTP of Veteran. You can also get yourself a 6-star Mega Rank Up ticket and Mega Tier 2 tickets, as well as some artifact chests and this sort of thing. So make sure you guys take advantage. They also have the Cosmic Core. That is up live right now, and it will be running for the next week. So make sure you take advantage of that. Everything up to the CTP of Liberation is going to be in this thing. So you want to make sure that you're not missing out. The CTP of Competition, if that's the one you're looking for, it will not be in here. But the Conquest, the Rage, the Liberation, the Insight, that's what this is for. You also have the Groot support missions making a return, so make sure you avail yourself of that. Some pretty good rewards in that thing. Moving along, you got the gold bonus mission, and this is changing. Consume 100,000 to 75 million resources and acquire various. Ooh, they upped this to 75 million? Bro, come on now. Y'all juicing it. If for 75 million, this should be a 5-star artifact, bro. Like, we got to keep it a whole buck. Spend 3 million to obtain specific 4-star artifacts. And then Various items are available, including Selector, um, Element Rune, 5-star rank up ticket, um, and that's nothing. 5 to 6 star comic card and ISO. So nothing major there. You got the double donos going for your alliance. So if you're still leveling up your alliance, now's the time. You got the surprise adamantium gift chest coming back. You also have the ISO set discount as well as the daily gold distribution event and the Uru unequipped. I think this is the Uru unequipped. No, enchanted Uru growth support. So this is the one where you can combine at the discount and get your Odin's blessings. So make sure y'all avail yourself of that. And then the whole thing that threw everybody into a tizzy, right? And we'll be getting to this here in just a second. Strange and fearsome, the heroes rejected by humanity have gathered. And if you don't know, I was under the impression, hence the thumbnail, and hence the thumbnail changed because this was actually supposed to be like fucking around with Volstagg and Fandral and all of them. But, and you know, a Sif in the Warriors 3 update would be nice. Don't get me wrong, they haven't been, you know, Sif is a decent support, but that's all she's been relegated to. I think at the time that uniform dropped, the DPS on it wasn't shabby, but it was never top tier. But top tier support, definitely, at the time. So kind of high time she gets an update. So I was thinking maybe you tier 4 Sif and then everybody else kind of gets a uniform. But since they're throwing 4 tier 4s per update now, let's not forget that could be a thing. I think they're really trying to get through all of everybody to tier 4 so they can, or as close to it so they can launch the tier 5 initiative. And then people won't be complaining. So that means we may get, as a result of rushing, a lot of crappy tier 4s. So it's gonna be a lot of buyer beware out there. Let's see. But moving right along, I went over here right before I got ready to start the stream to the Marvel Future Fight X page, right? Or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. And scrolled on down, and at this point it's 38 minutes old. But a master of magnetism, a mind without limits, the uncanny X-Men are assembling to prepare for what's next. So this is confirmed. Yeah, Polaris and Kid Omega, tier 4. Double mid-month, so that's number 1. And I see a lot more people are, let me refresh. I see a lot more people are kind of on this now, but yeah. It's taking a little while to refresh. Yeah, we got 87 likes. And let's go ahead and just jump in here right quick and see what folks are talking about. But yeah, caught me completely off guard. I was like, you know, getting ready to start the stream, and it was like, hey, 15 minutes ago, wait a minute, what the hell? Tier 4 Polaris and tier 4 Kid Omega? Yeah, I'm here for that. Whoa. Yeah, I'm here for that. I'm definitely here for that. And, you know, just as I wrote down here, because I had to chime in right quick before we could even get started. Okay, well, so, you know, I guess, but I'm here for it. I mean, I was way off, you know what I mean? But nice to be surprised. I mean, yeah, so, and a lot of the big dogs, I don't think have really chimed in just yet. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, to me, kind of fire. It also gives a little bit of okay. Yeah, but it also is giving me a little bit of the um for some reason this is giving April Fool vibes. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I thought at first. I'm like, wait a minute, are they doing April and we still in February? Like, what the hell? So I don't know. I was caught off guard. So there's no. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. Double mid month. Maybe we get more mutants in a main update, and then we get the April Fools mid month because they're gonna have to do it like beforehand. That would be like close to the end of March. That would be like the second or third week of March, because it like say this update drops, beginning of March, then they'll have to wait a few weeks at least. So say this update drops March 3rd, let's just say, because I mean there's no way. Yeah, it would definitely have to be it would definitely have to be on a Tuesday. Wow, this is weird, bro. This is so out of the blue. This, I mean, this is so out of the blue, bro. I'm really scratching my head. Like, yeah. Um, yeah, because they dropped that post. What was it on the 19th? So that was a few days ago. Maybe this was supposed to drop earlier, like on the 21st or the 22nd, and then the update was supposed to drop. Maybe we get something sort of out of rotation, like patch notes tomorrow, and then the update lands Thursday, and then maybe we get the full update for the following thing on like the 9th or something like that. And then they would go on like a 2 week hiatus, and we probably wouldn't or 2.5 week hiatus actually, and then we wouldn't see anything for the April Fool's update until probably the 27th or the 28th. Because that update they would at least have to drop, around that time frame. So I don't know. And then they're also trying to line stuff up for the anniversary as well. So you got the mid month incoming as well as the anniversary. So yeah. I don't know. What do y'all think? I could be a little off. I could be way off, but then again, so is this thing dropping on like a Tuesday going into Wednesday. So like I'm not the only one out of pocket here. Not this time. So yeah, Polaris and Kid Omega. You know, that is two characters that, they've never gotten uniforms before. They've never gotten uniforms before, and I mean, yeah. And as a matter of fact, oh, those could be the April Fool's uniforms because you do have one male and one female. They could be like dropping the April Fool's uniforms early, like extra early. I don't know why in the world they would do that, but if that's the case, and see, that's when I'm like, man, these hold on. Yeah, and she's 30. Yeah, she's biosub, and then Kid Omega is not. Yeah. Yeah. He's formable. He is completely free to play. He is from the oh, where do you get his bios from? It's from one of the Epic Quests, if I'm not mistaken. It's not X-Men, it's is it the Deadpool Epic Quest? No, those are the two guys for that one. Uh, you can get those two. He is a shifter here, but those are for her bios guaranteed, and I think you do have to have him. Yeah, because he wasn't in the game when this came out, and he's not part of this one. That's why I didn't even come here. Yeah, this was when the game wasn't so damn convoluted. Yeah, there are mutants in here, aren't there? I don't know. I know when you click on it, it'll actually tell you. I'm just not entirely sure where the stage is anymore. Epic Quest Goblin Queen. Oh, okay. Okay, so he's in the Goblin Queen Epic Quest. It's like, hey, just click on the mission and go there, right? So yeah, you can farm him if you have the Goblin Queen Epic Quest. unlocked far enough. But then on top of that, you can use, I think, the bio selectors on that guy as well. If I have one, let's see if he's one of the he's not in there. Hold on, let me make sure I'm not telling y'all wrong now. Maybe he's not a bio selector. No. No, he's not in here. Yeah, I don't see the little mohawk. And then usually, well, it's X gene. It's X gene. That's right. I'd have to have an X gene selector. Well, let's see if he's part of this 6-star rank up thing, because that operates under similar principles. And I think it is not just limited to humans. Well, there's Havoc, so that's kind of out. He's free to play friendly. Rogue as well, Storm, Cyclops, yeah. Yep, all the free to play mutants are down there. So, yep, you need an X Gene sub specifically. That kind of sucks. They need to fix that. Got 32 days left on that guy. But anywho, let's go ahead and jump into the game and get cracking. This should be interesting. This should be very interesting. But yeah, hopefully Kid Omega and hopefully Kid Omega and Polaris come as more than just support tier 4s, you know what I mean? You know, the other possibility that exists is they could be talking about more than one update with that whole the ones who never trusted the humans sort of situation. So who knows? We'll see. Hey, your boy came up dead last that go round. Yeah, your boy thought I had myself something with the humans. Um, I do still think that an update for them is closer than we think, just because of the retagging in ABX ABL. I haven't heard anything about any Shadowland. Um, well, I've seen talk about it, but yeah, nothing like, no confirmed data mines that I know about or anything like that. Just rooms and chatter and stuff that had me kind of speculating, like, hey, are they actually cooking something for Shadowland? Which it would be dope if they were. Don't get me wrong. The thing about Shadowland is, it lacks the dynamic to make the game mode interesting enough for veterans of the game, right? Because, yeah, you spend all of that time grinding, 1 through 35, but folks would do it with their weaker characters if the content was interesting enough and hopefully those weaker characters won't be so weak, you know no more in a little bit, but I don't know. I could show you the problem, but yeah, let's do a little bit of Otherworld right quick. So for newer players, Shadowland is a little more difficult because you don't have the roster, you don't have the cards. Um, but it's challenging content and it's rewards in there that you need at the level you are. But as you progress in the game, those rewards come less prevalent and less meaningful. Now, I'm all for it being a game mode that I could take my time with and grind out, slowly over a day's period, right? But this is where you start cutting down on the fluff of the game as well. You know what I mean? This game mode right here, and there's a reason why I put it on Otherworld Battle, would be so much better if it was like what Otherworld Battle used to be, but just open all the time, like it is now. Being able to control your characters in that content went a long way. And it actually made for being able to truly test a character. Now, you may still have issues, especially with, the size of the field and the AoE, because, I mean, one, the Battle World arena was much, much larger than this. So that's the other thing. And you could use that to your advantage with the V-pad and all. So it's just different things that you could do as far as the PvP scene is concerned. But back to the Shadowland thing. That game mode, I think where it loses a lot of players is one, it takes up too much time for the amount of reward that it's giving, right? That token system in there, especially for today's meta, way too expensive. Way too expensive. Most people are going to be going for tier 4 mats. At the rate that they're dropping tier 4s now in content, eventually the amount of materials that they're dropping are going to have to catch up, because once they push tier 5 out here, you know, the amount of tier 4 materials are going to have to be adjusted so people can even attain tier 5 in a reasonable fashion, considering every single time that they've done this and dropped a new tier, you use the previous tier's material to do things like level up skills, level up gears, levels themselves, things of this nature. So, you know, I think that track record would follow suit. If that's the case, then they're going to have to make it attainable. That's going to mean, and that's going to come in the form of, in some way, shape, or form, giving players more tier 4 materials, not less. And then they'll just make the new whatever material the new bottleneck. And wouldn't it be wild if the new books were like 10 dark holds? You know, they can't use Vishanti books because they're already in the game. But you know, if they named each one of them something different, like, you know, for the universals, it's the dark hold. For blast types, let's say it's or for universal types, let's say it's the Ironbound Books of Sidorak or something like that. And then the Dark Hold, and then so on and so forth. There's so many books in Marvel that are kind of like that. You know, they only need to come up with 4. So I think that would be kind of cool. I mean, just think about it. They dropped Carbonadium as a resource in the game before we got the character who's actually associated with Carbonadium, being Omega Red. So kind of cool when you think about it like that. Kind of a prelude to, and I said that when we got Carbonadium in the game, I was like, are we eventually gonna get my guy? And we did. So amazing. And I think they dropped him as a tier 3, which also you know, hopefully helps his potential a lot, especially if he gets like a uniform or something in a tier 4. So We're going back and forth a lot with these matches. Oh, we are down to just Surfer. Hopefully he can get him on the res. Yeah, win, loss, win, loss. I'm really thinking about putting Colossus in there as well. Yeah, because they're just overwhelming my guy Destroyer. And he's only buffing himself. With that HP, it's not like he's buffing anybody else. So let's try that. Let's try getting Destroyer out of the way. And I could throw Wolverine in there, but my Wolverine has an energy right now. And he's got kind of a slow startup. Let's see if Kang being last in the mix helps him. All right, let's try that. See if we can climb and get out of Vibranium. Let's see, I got mostly villains except for Wolverine. So hey, that's what I'm talking about. That was a decisive victory. I know I only had one character survive, but we were up 3-1 and everybody was on their last life and basically one shot themselves to reflect off of Shalabal's res. So Kang was able to tank it, and I think he still had his second life anyway. So yeah, we were in a pretty good position right there. Let's see here. Gotta get it. I gotta get Malik back. I got to get Malik back, baby. Can't just crank up the fire. Oh yeah, let's go on and get out there, and then Man, what happened? I thought we was gonna get it. Nah, I'm just playing. But yeah, I got to get my get backs. Yes, sir. That is what I'm talking. I'm definitely here for that. Yeah, but I hear you, Vacant. Shadowland is slow, but I feel like more people would play it if the rewards were just worth it. Like you talking about spending 11,000 tokens on a random CTP, bro, and transcendence and patience and all of these, mid-level and almost useless CTPs are part of the mix. Like, yeah, I understand for RNG's sake they have to have, but don't give me no transcendence or patience in that thing. And I've been, that stuff should be relegated to GBR drops and certain other like dimension mission, this sort of stuff, rando sort of shit. I wouldn't even put it in the story mode, in the story fragment form in chess. I wouldn't even put it over there because they're worthless. I mean, the best characters that those CTPs helped back in the day were characters that operated off of clones, right? But they've about phased all of that clone stuff out of the game. Very, very few characters. I'm not saying it's not characters that have it, but what character have they dropped in the last 2 years that uses clones? That's like meta for anything, even close to meta. Hell, I would even take, top 10 just outside of meta in the last 2 years. Hell, they haven't dropped a character like that since the advent of Tier 4, I don't think. You know what? I take that back. They have dropped a character that's close to meta that uses clones in today. And he's recent. Sentinel. Stark Sentinel. And he's got one of the best clone usages in the game. If not the best. But he still ain't you ain't slapping no transcendence or patience on that guy. Like it's just not good enough. It doesn't offer enough compared to the rest of the CTPs. And really where they screwed up was they put most of the meta effects on certain CTPs instead of like pairing it in such a way where you would have like, mid to not so good bottom effects and great top effects. Great prop effects. I'll show you what I'm talking about. They didn't do enough of this, right? Well, I don't have that CTP yet, but we'll use I don't know what's a good one. Okay, so this is a good one, right? Everything on the rage, everything is useful, right? The increased damage based on crit rate, crit damage, or based on crit rate and dodge rate. The ignore boss damage decrease, the increased crit rate and the increased dodge kind of synergize with everything going on the bottom, right? And then to top it off, they give you Enraged, which increases critical damage by 200% regardless of the max limit. So it's a crit damage over the cap, right? So everything kind of sort of synergizes all together, right? And then it's based on your overall crit rate, and crit damage has a part in your overall score. But you also have stuff like this, right? And for its time, when it first came out, yeah, increased damage dealt to boss types of 120%. All right, cool. But then you also have a trash penetration effect that does nothing. Guard break immunity, which is okay. Certain characters need it for PvP or PvE. I'm sorry. So that's sort of okay. Then they sprinkle on some crit damage and 200 proc. I would argue that maybe the crit damage and possibly the penetration could be traded out for other, um, better stats to kind of juice this thing a little bit. But for something like a CTP of patience, right? None of this is useful. You got some decreased damage received from Reflect. If this applied to all allies, great, right? Because then you would have sort of a pseudo reflect reduction for a certain amount of time for certain characters, along with an invincibility proc for yourself that, yeah, it could be penetrated. Maybe they should smash this together with that bubble that they have on the regen. You know what I mean? And then just get rid of the dodge. And sprinkle some damage in her some kind of way to make this thing viable. Recovers 60%. Recovers HP by 60% of concentration. That is just absolute garbage. And then creates so they did do that. Creates a barrier, but it's on a prop, right? And you have to fill this thing up all the way in order to get it to work. It's not enough. This should be down here. And then I don't know. They got to figure this out. Like this whole transcendence patience thing. Because I'll tell you this too. See, they doubled up the beatdown proc. They already have this on something else, so it's just wash, rinse, and repeat. Like, they could really get rid of the transcendence and the patience altogether and come up with something brand new in its place. And I don't think players would be terribly upset. So yeah. Now the question would become, well, if you're getting rid of those CTPs, and you're talking about going into individual accounts and just rewriting them in a different type of thing, well, how do you jelly for that? You also have the years and years of people throwing CTPs at other CTPs going after brilliance and mighties that could have been this new fantastic thing sitting in their inventory this whole time. But yeah, you know, the trade-offs, say la vie. But that's sort of the problem with Shadowland. Maybe having a reset for the top rewards periodically. You know, if you want to keep the shop the way that it is. Because, yeah, as it currently stands, you can't even get Life Seed out of here. Right? And then you're talking about 11K for a random CTP. Or 4,000 for a random Odin's Blessing with some tier 3 materials schmatted in there. But yeah, I would definitely say they need to take the transcendence and the patience out of this thing. Because, I mean, the odds of you pulling 4, you know, useless CTPs, 2, maybe even 3 kind of mid CTPs, although I give authority a little more respect than that for the PvP scene. It's really only 2 CTPs, maybe 3 that are viable for PvE. And that's going to be the energy, the rage, and the judgment, along with the competition, of course. You know, all of the rest of them are going to be to one level or a degree more leaning into PvP. Even with the characters that require the penetration from the destruction. You see more and more of that now in PvP than PvE, I want to say. Because most characters that are proc friendly don't need the guard break immunity these days. There are options and ways around it, either hiding in an iframe or something like that during their rotation. So a lot of characters have V-pads these days as well. So that's kind of part of the problem, right? Then you got a chance to get CTPs out of here. You also have a chance to get, I think... Oh, no, there aren't even premium cards in here. So, yeah. Yeah, that's part of the problem right here is the recurring rewards just aren't good enough or are a little too expensive. You're talking about having to farm these tokens one at a time, and you're talking about 2,500, right? When I can go over here to Zombie Survival, wait a week, or however long until reset, right? And I can come right over here to the store every single week, and I can get 100 more of everything and 200 life seed that aren't there. It's dated. You know what I mean? They need to update Shadowland Shop. So that's number one. The other part, though, is I would say every 2, maybe 3 months, they should reset. What, 50 days? I don't think that's bad. 45, 50 days. About as long as a future pass. I think they should reset Shadowland Shop every so many, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't make it a sellable thing like a future pass sort of situation. I wouldn't make it where you unlock this with, you know, X amount of crystals, because they would make it a ridiculous amount. I would just make it that every so many days, just for people to, you incentivize people keep playing, right? You mean to tell me, and it may take me time to get there. Now they can still do the 7 day reset period, right? But within those 7 days, for the next 45, 50 days, the rewards for 250 from 36 to 250, those level rewards where you can get the CTP selector and all of that stuff. Maybe sprinkle some new stuff in there, like an artifact selector, maybe an emblem selector or something like that. Maybe some tokens for the team up collection. All of the new stuff that you've been adding to the game, and make it a way for people to go in there and farm those materials. That's number one, is the rewards. The second part to that is, as far as Shadowland, going and updating the content to something that is challenging in more than one challenging, but in a dynamic way, right? And what I mean by that, if I can find freaking Shadowland, yeah, there we go. Anyway, they could always come down here and add an extreme mode for high-end players, and then regular Shadowland for the Joes that are new to the game, still climbing. Accounts are probably 6 months or less, this sort of thing, right? But for those of us out there that are, and they can adjust the rewards accordingly. You know what I mean? For those of us that are rocking, 20% Pierce or better sort of situation, that have team up collections built, that have emblems, swords, and all of this different sort of stuff, that have uniforms at Mythic with the requisite CTPs, and maybe even double up, have an extreme mode for folks that kind of want something that's more challenging than regular, with a slightly better reward pool. Maybe you got tier 4, tier 5 mats in there and this sort of stuff. And then you have the, I don't want to say ultra whale territory because I don't want to make it seem like it's pay to win, but the more developed accounts, right? Those megalodons that are rocking 25, 30% Pierce, that have brilliance going out the wazoo. Maybe you make a legendary mode for them that's like really difficult. And then the third thing, and I think Shadowland is a prime candidate for this, and it would probably make it one of the best game modes in the game. Figure out a way to adjust the difficulty accordingly and open it up for multiplayer, along with revamped stages. So you can get in here with maybe one other or two other people for a total of 3 folks doing some co-op climbing. That would be freaking dope. And the reason why I say that is for the longest time, and ever since they introduced this little tab format here, they even took a game mode from this, right? And typically, the only game mode that's over here, if this 3 hours and 58 minutes wasn't remaining, would be Giant Boss Raid. They might as well do away with the fucking co-op tab altogether because there are no co-op game modes in the game, and they need to add some. Zombie Survival was supposed to be on that tab, right? So why not add that and Shadowland over there? I think that would be something to see, especially if it's revamped to more difficult content, and especially if you're talking about, well, with the extreme mode, yeah, you can be an ultra megalodon, uber whale or whatever, but you got to have your homeboys to go in here and take care of this one, and they better have you better have you some chin strap. You gonna check your chin strap? I like it. I like it. And in that way, you have rewarding, challenging content. I'm telling you, it'll, man, say. Because, I mean, a lot of this other stuff, Alliance Battle, it's cool. World Boss, it's cool. You know what I mean? Y'all don't want to do a decent PvP game mode, so fine. If y'all don't want to do that, I messed up. Yeah, if y'all don't want to do a decent PvP game mode, fine. Do that. I mean, everybody has to use their roster strategically. You know, you got to have enough characters to go around, all this sort of stuff. That would make Shadowlands so live. Just in case he go past me. Yeah, I should be able to get off one more before he cranks up the... Cool. All right, closing in on 10 million. Is he going early or late? Yeah, he went late, that chump. I'm gonna rock with it anyway. As long as I don't get jammed up on this last one. And we within 13 seconds, so we definitely gonna wait. probably would have had 13 million. Yeah, definitely would have had 13 million. Well, it is what it is. Thought I'd be able to make it up, but yeah, I don't know what that was. Hey, Jay Moreno, what's going on? Welcome back, welcome back. Oh, what is autoplay doing on? No wonder. Who the hell? I wonder if that wasn't on with Scarlet, I don't think. Like I keep casting the second, he keep doing some more other stuff. Alright. Grab that. And pop off one time. Yeah, missing that 4 altogether was not cool. Yeah, I gotta hit him. It's gonna take too long because they missed the. Yeah, I was gonna say it ought to be a light popping off here in a second, shouldn't it? Yeah, just let it ride. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. Yeah, because I don't have anybody right now that can score higher. Maybe if I tier forward Kingpin, he'd probably outclass him. Which I'm here for that. I'm here for a tier 4 Kingpin. It's just getting my guy out of the way. Let's go ahead and put together a zombie survival team so we can clean up these tier 4 mats, and then we'll go do a little world boss and team battle arena and sink some more resources into my guy Kang. Second skill restriction. Okay, so combat characters are restricted. And the second skill, kind of want to say you can get. I kind of want to say you can get the job done without it. Although I know he loses a boatload of damage. Let's see here. I wonder if it'll be enough. Put that joint on repeat just in case it is. Like, the thing is, Mephisto at tier 4 is just a beast any way you slice it. He's just not able to access the additional damage to super villains that he has natively. But yeah, he doesn't seem to be having any problems, and then tier 4 Storm is definitely no slouch by any stretch of the imagination. She all off screen handling her business like, man, yeah, I'll holler at y'all. I'm finna handle this down here. Oh, yeah, you running up? Let me walk you back down right quick. Hey, Mephisto, handle my lightweight. And then just blast everything. Yeah, this is This is a very viable squad right here. The zombie gas has no chance to even accumulate. Electrified brimstone, baby. So how y'all feel about us getting tier 4 Polaris and Kid Omega? What y'all feel about them coming? Hold up. Me I didn't clue y'all into the audio. Let me do that right quick. Oh, you know what? We'll do it this way. There, that way it cuts it for me too. All right. And while that's going in the background, let's switch it over. So yeah, slideshow, of course, different kind of slideshow, but they actually do have some images of them in game as well too, like animation wise. So, but of course, that's footage that they already have chopped up that's coming with the thing. So, I mean, it's kind of giving me April Fool's kind of vibes. It's kind of giving me April Fool's vibes. So yeah, pretty dope. I mean, it's about time for Kid Omega, right? Polaris is pretty new to the game, but not mad at her getting the uniform. She's been around long enough. Better her than Captain America, Sharon Rogers, same old, wash, rinse, repeat. Spidey, as much as I want Hulk to get a green Hulk hero uniform that maybe makes him viable for both PvP and PvE, or something along those lines, you know what I mean? Gambit is current mutant for male mutant days. Yeah. Yeah, Polaris could take up for that. But the other reason too why I say this is giving me, I know we're a ways away from April, and that's why I'm like, this can't be the April Fool's update. But hold up here. Cause y'all ain't seeing what I'm seeing. Y'all ain't seeing what I'm seeing. Right? Hold up. Cause I don't wanna. Alright. So this right here, very, very, you know, yeah, more modern sort of take or whatever. But then also, you know, you got these two shots here, of course, and he's popping off a little bit with the Phoenix. They have his in-game animation. I think they're changing that. New uniform, tier 4. So tier 4 confirmed for Kid Omega, right? Kind of a punk rock sort of thing. And then they got her end animation as well. New uniform, tier 4 Polaris confirmed. So this is a double tier 4 mid-month, right? They did an upskirt on her. They wrong for that. Sort of half Magneto-ish daughter sort of vibe. With the, I don't know, wedding dress sort of thing. I don't know what's going on. What are they getting married? Like, I don't know. Is it a bride and groom sort of thing? You know, that's the other thing I mean, it's just really, it has more of an April vibe to it. The other thing though is you got male free to play character, and then you have a female paywall character in Polaris, right? So yeah, like, I'm not saying that the female character is always paywall, but what I am saying is it does fit the bill of a seasonal, in being that it's always been one male, one female, and the female is always the paywall character. As far as the uniform is concerned, you have to buy the tokens, that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, it kind of fits that bill. And given the time frame of when they're dropping this, I mean, this dropped today about, an hour ago at this point, maybe an hour and a half, something like that. So not that long ago. Yeah, about an hour and a half. So not that it dropped at 9 p.m. It is now, so almost 2 hours. It's almost 11. I mean, them dropping this now, and I don't think, and this is the other thing too. If you go over to the forum, okay, they finally did drop it. Okay, because this was not up earlier, and I definitely look for it. The Master of Magnetism. So let's pull this up so we can go through it. The Master of Magnetism, who bends metal at will, and wielder of psychic energy, capable of crushing enemies' mind in an instant, have arrived from Krakoa. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, the heirs of legacy. Uh-oh. Check out the new look and abilities, the true bloodline of Magneto and the next generation of Professor X. So this is not the only update, sneak peek. This is just the first one. Okay, now stuff is making a little more sense. So this isn't a mid-month sneak peek. This is just the first of maybe one or two more sneak peeks, something like that. Which means they could end the sneak peeks probably around Friday or Saturday. Drop the promotional video Sunday, drop the patch notes Monday, and then update Tuesday. So now that's starting to line up a little bit more. So the update is still going to be on the 3rd, looks like. Then we'll probably have a mid-month on the 17th. And then the April Fool's update, which would be a double mid-month. Which means the next main update is probably not going to be until the 14th, because the April update should drop on the 31st, that Tuesday. So yeah, now that's making a lot more sense. I was thinking in the way that that thing came out on Twitter, and then I came over to the forum and I'm like, well, where's the... Because what time did this drop? 2100. Okay, so that's what threw me off, because they dropped this thing like an hour later. No. They both dropped at 9. Okay. Huh. Because I sure did come over here and didn't see it. Otherwise, I would have had it pulled up for you guys. But yeah. So, couple of sneak peeks on the way. Because they did not hit us with the be on the lookout for them patch details, yada, yada, yada. So, who are the other mutants that are dropping? Interesting. Maybe we get something for my boy Nightcrawler. Yo, you know, if they give justice to Nightcrawler, I got a tear for that guy. You know, if they give justice to Nightcrawler. Oh, man. Say. Oh, I gotta get Kang out of the way. I have gotta get Kang out of the way. They're probably gonna drop at least one villain. That could be Mr. Sinister. You know, this is Krakoa, but now that I think about it, and now that it's kind of sinking in, you know what? You know what vibes this is? This isn't seasonal vibe. Hold up. Hold on. Let's do this. Oh Lord, then blowing my eardrums out. Let's do this proper. Oh, it's not long enough for the pop-out window. Haha. That sucks. Let's see here. we'll do it like that. So, yeah. Yeah, let's get it right. So, Tier 4 Polaris, Tier 4 Kid Omega. Yeah, now that y'all can see it properly. So the first of one, maybe two more sneak peeks. But this is not the first time that they've done this. And now that I've given it some more thought and realized, you know, hey, this isn't seasonal, right? This is more gonna be along the lines of a full update with, like, you know, more characters or whatever, right? So let's go take a look at the X-Men roster in game and we can dig into this. But I'll tell you what I'm thinking here in just a second. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Yeah. Let's turn off the repeat because we've done this enough. Like, and then on the over here, right, where they were talking about, hold on, let's get that out of the way. And let's refresh that to where it's, yeah. So, right, have arrived from Krakoa, right? Right, the master of magnetism who bends at will, psychic wielder, capable of crushing an enemy's mind in an instant, have arrived from Krakoa, right? So they dropped that, but then it started me to thinking also, isn't this kind of Hellfire Gala vibe? I mean, isn't this something you would see, you know, Hellfire Gala, perhaps? So maybe we get a brand new mutant. Maybe we get Sebastian Shaw. Who knows, right? But, you know, also the other thing in terms of who else could be getting a tier 4 that's already in the game, Mr. Sinister. Another guy with the clone technique that you know, they could maybe figure out a way to kind of up and boost that whole sort of vibe. Like, the problem with Sentinel is they die too quick. They should be like invincible for the first, you know, second couple of seconds or something. That way they can at least get an attack off. Maybe boost their defenses a little bit. Let's go in here and get this other GBR out of the way. We'll throw Jean in here this time. Should be a cakewalk. Okay, we got ourselves a tier 4 storm in here. And if that's an offensively built Wolverine, we could be in for a pretty good time. Yeah. All right. Yes, sir. Go on and get him out of here. I still got over 50. Nope. Okay, that's what, 2 more runs? One more if I wait for the boost points. Well, it'll still be 2 more runs if I wait for the boost points. Um, let's see, we've done Otherworld thing. Yeah, I have not been playing. Mm-mm. I trust Kang in that last matchup. Oh, yes, sir. Come on. She wasn't able to pull it off. I thought getting that carnage out of there would have spelled certain victory for me. Okay. All right. I can dig that. Magneto needs a new uni too. Yeah, but the thing is, like Magneto needs a new uniform, Rogue needs a new uniform, but they're good, right? Beast still kind of sucks. Nightcrawler definitely sucks. Phantom X hasn't been touched and needs a tier 4. Domino needs a tier 4. Right? So hold up. Let's just pull up the mutants, right? Strife needs a tier 4, and he's really good in this uniform, right? But Strife needs a tier 4, right? I would say Cable could do with the new uniform, but you know what I mean? A seasonal, 2 uniforms, 3, 4 uniforms, 5, including the seasonal. Like, he's good. Professor X could definitely use an upgrade. And this uniform is so dated, and my guy's tier 4, and yeah, just way out of the meta. Havoc hasn't been touched yet. Iceman, right? Like, my guy needs justice, bro. And I'm just now realizing Iceman's feet are cut off for you guys. So let me get that adjusted right quick. Oh, so that's not the problem. Problem is this, isn't it? Yep. That's why it's cut off for y'all. Because the dimensions were different. Okay. So if this is gonna be it, let me get some new calculations in here right quick. Give me 1 second while I get this cleaned up. Here we go. Oh, it's cutting off the top numbers and the bottom now. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I can, well, shit. Yeah, that works. Yeah. Yeah, I can live with that. Anywho, sorry about all of the technical stuff, but yeah, my guy Iceman definitely needs an upgrade. Bishop recently got one. Colossus Warpath just dropped in the game, and X Force and forgotten about, right? Way back when Wolverine, where is my guy at? Way back when Wolverine got this uniform. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 uniforms ago for Wolverine, right? When you put it into context. X-23 recently got herself something. Jubilee, another character, dropped in the game and just forgotten, right? Fan favorite. Cassandra Nova kinda new. Kitty Pryde could be better. Exodus needs a tier 3, right? Minimum. Phantom X, also another character, dropped in the game. Haven't tier 3'd this guy yet, and I hope he gets one. I hope they don't do the awaken skill thing with him. You can have him kind of maybe pair this guy with Sentinel or something like that and do a mutant hunter team that way. You know what I mean? Like there are possibilities out there. Sinister, I think he got the one uniform and then they just forgot about this guy. Nightcrawler, they took a couple of stabs at it and said, they need to give my guy an update. If you don't know, go over to the channel. It's the main video. I keep it up because of that. You know what I mean? My guy acts an absolute ass in the X-Men 97, and they gave him no justice. The best hand-to-hand fight scene in the entire first season, hands down, and it ain't even close. That's why I'm like, yeah, Magneto does need a new uniform, but fourth stab, they kind of got it right with the seasonal. Unfortunately, it's a seasonal, but he does have it. You know what I mean? Similar to Black Bolt in that way, even though his damage is kind of definitely tailed off. They took 2 cracks at Apocalypse. I could argue for him, but he's in a decent enough place right now to where I could kind of say, yeah, I could pass on Apocalypse. Plus, he's already tier 4. Why miss on the opportunity to tier 4 somebody else? If you wanted to argue Namor, I would not be mad at that, even though he kind of falls into that same sort of category as Apocalypse. Dakin got the one uniform, a tier 3, and said, oh well, right? And for where it was, the uniform wasn't bad. Sunspot still kind of new, so probably not gonna do much with him. This uniform is pretty recent for Weapon Hex, so no reason to do anything with her either. Hope Summers is somebody that they could probably do something with. It would definitely give some more value to that Madeline Pryor epic quest, and they already touched Madeline, so it would kind of make sense. Angel, I'm kind of over at this point. They've taken so many stabs at this guy. The only time that they actually got him right was way back when, with this uniform, he was able to, and some would argue even without, but so much better with, because it gave him that heal of 15%, I think it was. But in that uniform, you were able to kill the old school Jean Grey when she was rocking the meta, and this sort of thing. I think it was before she had a uniform. So, yeah. Who else? Who else? I mean, I've named off a myriad of characters right there. This is somebody else I've argued would be so much better in this uniform at tier 4. You know what I mean? So, yeah, they could definitely do something with Domino. Dazzler, no uniform, no tier 4. Definitely in the support category. Definitely one of the best tier 4, definitely one of the best mutant supports in the game. So that's another direction they could go with it. Kind of trying to stay away from a lot of the paywall mutants, but so many of them are. So that's the other thing, of one degree or another. They did recently give Juggernaut a tier 4, so I doubt they do anything for him either, even though technically he's not a mutant. But he still carries that tag in game. You know, everybody else is kind of, they've either done something recently with, like Bishop. You know, Omega Red, they could definitely do something with. I would be so here for that. But once again, if I'm not mistaken, another paywall character, right? So that's the other thing. You know, Sabretooth, they could do something with. But he's a Crystal Ball character, right? You know, this guy as well, but another Crystal Ball character. So, I mean, they could even do something with her. They just dropped her in the game, you know, and forgot about her, and she's at least free to play. You can get her from that shop if you're uber lucky. But yeah. You know, they at least dropped a uniform for Rachel. Dropping a tier 4 for her would not be something out of the question, but considering she got a uniform with the Goblin Queen Epic Quest, and then Hope Summers is still sort of fairly new, and all of this sort of stuff, she is ABX viable, if you don't have certain tunes like Crescent and whatnot. So you can get some use out of her there. But I would still argue other characters ahead of Hope Summers. You know, definitely somebody like Warpath. I'ma always argue for my boy Nightcrawler, somebody like a Jubilee, who's also a paywall character, I might add. So, yeah, I mean, it's like, how many of these folks are actually free to play? Dazzler, paywall character. You know, Beast, you could make that argument, but look how many times they've swung and missed on this guy. If anything, just, you know, fix them. Just fix them. Because one, this is his most iconic look. I wouldn't really want to change that. So yeah, I mean, Dakin, at least you can get him free to play if you have the Epic Quest unlocked. Um, you know, Warpath is free to play. Nightcrawler is free to play. I believe Mr. Sinister is paywall. Like it's just so many of them that are paywall. Um, you know, my guy right here is free to play. I believe Exodus, surprisingly enough, is free to play as a shifter. So, you know, they do have some free to play outlet as far as the mutants are concerned. Um, so I hope we don't get a bunch of wash, rinse, repeat situation. Like, oh well, here's another uniform for Jean Grey. Here's another uniform for, you know, some other character. No, give me X-23. Give me something for Domino. Give me something for Warpath. Give me something for, you know, one of these guys, right? Let's see. I'm not ready to do that just yet. Maybe. We're gonna do that right there and see if we can win front loaded. And then if not, my insurance policy is yeah, tier 4 Kang. Oof. So I have to win these two. Hey, not looking good. Oh wow. So we just gonna take the automatic L. That sucks. If you crash, it should not be an automatic L. Can you imagine refreshing with crystals only to crash? And it's like, yeah, give me the 14 tokens. You know, that doesn't make up for the L in the ranking. Yeah, let's try that. He might have me on the support. Yep. Yeah, it's the support that's gonna let him win out. Got my artifact triggered. Wasn't enough. I got swept. Wow. Wow. I have to rethink some of these support systems. Yeah. I have beast artifact. Nope. Okay. Go with all damage. Let me see what I have for this guy. Let's see if that's enough. I don't know. Maybe we get Kang out there with a little bit of extra support. Let's throw him with Beast, give him some more HP. Not right now, Raish. Yeah, you know what? That's actually pretty tough right there. Yeah, that's actually a pretty tough offensive and defensive lineup. Hmm. Not enough. Not enough to hold up. Can I get him on the res without one-shotting myself? Okay. No sweepy. No sweepy for you. Put your broom up. Hey, Court, what's going on? Well, is it Hakaru? What's going on? Welcome to the channel. Hey, the gentleman sweep. What you mean? Lose the first two and then come back and clean it. All right, last one, folks. Last one, and then it's on to something else. Let's see here. Let me see if my blast team can do something with that combat team. We will do the double up reflex joint. And then we will also we'll let Kang anchor this thing. We already know who the first two are. Yep, definitely hiding all up there. Although I should get this one, I hope. Wow. That is so weird that my Null and my Sentry cannot get a dub. It's just too much HP to eat through. Okay. That was a bit of a tussle right there for Madeline, but she was able to pull it off. Okay, my guy Surfer and Carnage. Carnage is holding on. He's got the artifact triggered, but he does have a 6-star. Can my guy Surfer get it done? Okay, he did get clapped once. Ooh, hey, he gets him on the res though. That's what I'm talking about. That Surfer was tough, bro. Goodness. Kang, it's up to you, my... Oh, Lord. He got absolutely mopped. But he was able to pull it off on the second life, though. With the gentleman sweep once again in the fourth quarter. With the two-hand dunk, man, say off a leg and a half. What do you mean? Let's see here. Gotta rock her lead. We'll let Jugs get out there. You know what? Jugs or Thing? We'll let Juggernaut get out there. But if y'all tell me Thing in the chat, I'll make the switch. I might do it half and half. When it get to $130, I'll make the switch. Yes, sir. We do have fun going on. This is the fun zone. We kicks it over here. We kicks it like a jackrabbit. What you mean? Do I know about the Holy Festival? No, I do not. But enjoy, my guy. Enjoy. Oh yeah, I don't know nothing about that, my guy. What religion? Hindi. Okay, okay, okay. I didn't know. I didn't know. I'm not that familiar with Hindi custom and tradition, so my apologies. I was just, I was just asking. I've never even heard of it. I mean, I've Hindi, of course, but not Holy Festival. No. And I'm sure I'm probably pronouncing it absolutely wrong. So my apologies. Who do I hope for the next update? Bro, they've already they've already said Kid Omega and Polaris are the first two. So yeah. Yeah, that's already a foregone sort of thing. The thing is, like we were talking about over here earlier, who else? Because when we were reading the sneak peek, they did not put the patch details later down here. They just go, check out the new look and abilities. Look being uniform, abilities being tier 4 of the true bloodline of Magneto and the next generation of Professor X. No, check out, please wait for the patch details sort of thing. So we've got at least one, maybe two more sneak peeks coming because this is dropping on a Tuesday. We're probably not going to get anything tomorrow. We'll probably get something Thursday or Friday. And then we'll probably get, if we get one Thursday, then we'll probably won't get nothing Friday. We'll get maybe something Saturday if it's 3. If it's 2, then we'll probably get something. We probably won't see nothing Wednesday or Thursday. We'll probably get something Friday. Won't see anything Saturday. We'll get the promo video Sunday, patch notes Monday, update Tuesday. Something like that. So the update should be primed to land on the 3rd. So mutant centric update coming. More mutants inbound. Save your Phoenix feathers. Save your Mcron crystals. All that jazz. Because you are gonna need them to handle your business for this mutant update. Wow, mission failed. What the hell? How the hell? Hold up. Wait a minute, we dropped somebody. Yeah, let's get back in there. Yeah, that should not be happening. On a dimension rift, yo? don't have Polaris tier 2, she's only 1 star. Is this enough? So the thing about Polaris is you should use tickets to build her because she is a paywall character. So you should use the 1 through 6 star tickets or the 6 star mega rank up ticket, and then the tier 2 mega rank up ticket. It doesn't make any sense to use a regular tier 2 ticket on her because for those you'll still have to build the gears to 25, which will require her specific X genes. So you don't want to do that. The 1 through 6 star tickets are fine. The 6 star mega rank up ticket is fine. And then from there, you're gonna need the tier 2 mega rank up ticket. You can get one of those from the events that they drop. And they drop them for free. So you just have to pay attention to the events when they come around and get a hold of one of those bad boys. And that's the secret to get around. Yeah, that's the secret to get around the paywall characters. Yeah, for instance, in this collector's hall here, and the event that just passed, but in the collector's hall right here, they're gonna have a chance for a tier 2 mega rank up ticket right here. So you can use that on Polaris. They'll also have chances at mega uniform upgrade tickets. If she winds up being good and worthy of that, you can use those on her as well. They'll also have 5-6 star tickets in here. And additionally, I do believe you can get those tickets from playing story mode as well. So it's a bunch of places where you can go get them. But I'll go over and check the chest here in a second in story mode. That way I don't want to lead you astray, bruh. Let's see here. You got another 5-star ticket here in the gold mission. I do believe, I think they have a mega rank up ticket in the gold mission. And then they may have one in Cosmic Core as well. But I gotta look and see. I mean, they aren't that hard to get. You know what I mean? They aren't hard to get at all. So yeah, just do your thing and you should be able to get a hold of one relatively easily. And then it'll just be about, well, which characters do I want to take to tier 4 at what particular time? You know what I mean? So yeah. So yeah. That's all it is. I'm missing a 6-star mega rank up ticket. Yeah, but you can still use like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6-star ticket. It's just you need each one of them. You know what I mean? And that's where I was saying, like, some events you'll get the 5-star ticket. I think the 1 through 3 or something like that you can get from farming story fragment missions and shit. What else? Like, so yeah, you can get a lot of that stuff from that sort of thing. Yeah, I know it sounds kind of hard to get, but yeah, I know it sounds kind of hard, but yeah, it's attainable. It's very attainable and completely free to play. You don't have to do a lot of. You just gotta play. You know what I mean? This is the sort of game that, even at free to play, it rewards consistency. I will give it that much. You know, I heard players complain a lot about, like, oh, well, it's hard to get, you know, and some of the complaints are valid. Don't get it twisted, right? But, you know, then you go and you look and it's like, well, you played for a week and then you took 10 days off, 15 days off. Well, you missed the whole event, bro. You missed out on and trust me, coming from a guy that plays or that has been playing the game regularly and has been missing a lot lately, I feel it. I just have enough within my account to where it doesn't matter that much for me. You know what I mean? So, and I don't put all of that emphasis on it. It's like I got enough to make it. You know what I mean? Because realistically, right? And until these ABX ABL changes, really, that kind of pushed it, and then some of the stuff with Other World Battle and TBA, but until recently, you only needed a select few characters, and we all knew who they were. You know what I mean? They kind of shook it up a little bit with ABX ABL, and they made you kind of stretch your roster a little further with the PvP stuff, right? If that's your thing. By and large, timeline's still the same. World Boss hasn't really changed much. We haven't gotten a new GBR. Yeah, and dispatch farming has not been updated. So and to be honest, a lot of those game modes are kind of time sinks. The co-op tab for co-op gameplay hasn't been updated because they can't think of a good way to, generate players playing together, sort of situation. Whereas they have game modes like dimension missions, right? That you can open for friends that, it's you and two other players. Like if you haven't noticed in dimension missions, or dimension rifts, I'm sorry, your whole roster is on the screen when you're running a rift, right? Why not translate that into something more PvP oriented that's a little more difficult, right? Get rid of the time frame sort of thing. It's like, yeah, we going into the dimension rift. But with, co-op, with other agents. You know what I mean? I think doing something like that with Shadowland would be amazing. And then really ramp the difficulty, make it like Shadowland Extreme plus X double XL. You know what I mean? And I would have a Shadowland regular for everyday folks getting into the game. I would have a Shadowland Extreme, and then I would have a Shadowland plus minus. You know what I mean? And that would be get with teammates, go in here and do your thing. That would be the extreme, and then the other one, right? The normal, that's solo dolo. You got to graduate to this. You know what I mean? And extreme, I wouldn't make that difficult. I would make it, it'll get difficult as you climb or whatever, but it would be, somewhat regulated. Like you need at least, I don't know, 5 to. You could recommend it. You could do a recommended Pierce level, right? It's recommended that you have at least X amount of Pierce to come in here. Or it's recommended that you have at least this much attack to come in here. However you wanna slice it, right? Like overall on your account. And divide it up that way. And then on top of all of that, add more Shadowland stages, like different fights, different uniforms, updated everything. You know what I mean? From top to bottom. See my IGN. How's it going? Yeah, I can check it out. Drop it in the chat. What am I doing right now? The rift? Yeah, I'll go check it after this rift closes. Cause I want to kind of clean up on this. Oh, that's you, agent? Man, say. I don't know why I'm tripping. Hey, who was that? Smart Dodge. What's going on? Welcome to the channel. I heard the devs say they want to move in the direction of less autoplay. Hey, I'm here for it, bro. Look, hold on. See, you done started something. I'm finna go get a drink, and I will be right back after these messages, and we're gonna dive into that. So stay tuned. All right, we are back. I thought I muted the mic. Yeah, see, you done started something there, Smart Dodge. I appreciate that. That comment right there. I really do. Cause we've been saying that on this channel for a minute now. Like, what is the point of a game that is just sitting there chilling that you're not playing? You know what I mean? Like how I am now. This thing is going, sitting on the desk. I'm looking at it, and it's not requiring me to do any interaction with it. What's the point? You know, this should be clear ticket shit. But you're gonna make it an autoplay game. Man, get the hell out of here. No, how about you make some stuff that is engaging with people, and then you open the roster up so people can play with all these myriad of characters that y'all have been so blessed to, and that we've been so blessed to be able to come down through there with. Right now, I would probably say Authority. I would not put a Conquest on Surfer. I would probably say Authority, or maybe even Agreed. That will give him the ability to punch up, and then also in going against other surfers, it'll give you some level of reflect immunity, so you don't have to worry about one-shotting yourself as much. A lot of people don't look at it that way, but yeah. Like you put a mighty greed on him, and then you pair him with somebody like America Chavez. Oh, you'll have some problems going up against, like, you know, you could create some real problems for other surfers. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you have Agent Venom to pair with him. Especially if your Chavez is tier 4. Like, that can be a little bit of an issue. Just saying. I haven't run across that tactic very much, but a little bit of a problem. You're right though, but this game is all about grinding. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? If you're grinding the right game modes, like you don't have to play every single game mode. It doesn't hurt if you do, but you don't have to. But you do have to play World Boss. You do have to play GBR. You do have to play I would say Zombie Survival. You do have to play Team Battle Arena. You do have to play Other World Battle. For the crystals, you do have to play Timeline Battle. Other than those, ABX, ABL is useful for other reasons. And then Rifts. Outside of those game modes, it's not a whole lot that you have to do. And then participate in your events. If you can do those things, you can be successful in this game. And then the other thing too is don't get discouraged. You know what I mean? You wait all month for a CTP and then you get some trash ass CTP. Like just hang in there, bro. Make sure you switch to 835. Make sure you Sunday at reset, something like that sort of situation. With the opening of the chest, like try to do everything that you can to within reason, of course, within the rules, of course. But if it's going to channel 835, if it's your particular day, just before reset, just after reset, whatever your MFF superstition is, let's say. And hope for the best, bro. Now, I mean, like, as far as like the RNG in the game and the luck with opening things like boxes and chests and waiting all of this time for, the 28-day check-in event, for instance, right? You wait all of that time and then say you get something that's not that good, a lot of people would get discouraged and give up. It happens a lot. So, what am I? My inventory full or something? No, nowhere near it. Okay, let's go check. I think I got you on my friends list, don't I? Yeah. There you go. Oh, for Surfer, you cannot use tickets. Yeah, you have to use Black Antimatter and all of that to rank him up. So that's a different story. Yeah, that's a different story. That's tier 2 native stuff. Um, let's see here. What you got going on your cards? Oh, you done got you a second deck. Ain't that something? Man, say. Not mad at you. Not mad at you at all. Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. Let me take a look at the let me take a look at this other card set. Take a look at the effects. So we got 20% HP increase, all attack, energy attack, 34% cooldown. So the cooldown is rocking. The ignore defense, physical, energy, and then 48% all attack, 38% HP. Pretty interesting. 46% all defense. Yeah, you coming along. You got yourself something, Chief. Let's see. Okay, Widow, you need to pull this Transcendence off. And I would give her something like a Greed, a Mighty Greed would work. Um, yeah. Okay, you got your Rage on your Storm, Conquest on your Sentry, Destruction on Cap. I'm actually not mad at that. Okay, you got nothing on Venom, but I'm sure you're waiting on a Rage. Okay, you got your Judgment. Oh my god. Ghost Rider, Loki is rocking the Baby Rage. Yeah, so you got Baby Rage on Venom, Loki, and Thor. With the lightning damage on Thor, that's pretty damn nice. Okay, guard break immunity, and then invincibility with ignore dodge on Kang. That's actually not a bad roll. Okay, conquest on Wolverine. You can actually get away with running him with a Greed as well. If you have him to spare, that'll free up a conquest for you. Although I don't know who you would put it on. Okay, liberation on Cyclops. Not mad at that. Got insight on Tasky. Okay, working on Mephisto with the double flame invincibility. Might want to make that a baby rage at some point, but he's only 55. Yeah, he's still working on stars and whatnot. So, yeah, it's coming along. Well, what is the question? Need some P cards. So, which premium cards are you looking at? That's the question. For the second deck, you got all attack cooldown. Quality 4. This one could probably get switched out. This hold on. Let me get this. This Black Panther here. You could probably do something with that one at some point, but I know you got a lot invested in it. And that's where a majority of your Pierce is coming from right now, so don't touch it right now. Fill the rest of this deck out. The first card that I would start with would be this Ghost Rider card right here. And go ahead and get it all the way blue stars, all of that jazz. And then I would do the same thing with this one, the New Avengers #9, because this is actually a really, really good roll. Quality 7. You got the ignore defense, max HP, crit damage. Let me see, what can that card roll? So it can roll all attack and cooldown. So that's kind of what you wanted in those slots. Or energy attack and cooldown. I would take either one of those. Like if it rolled quality 7, energy attack and cooldown versus all attack, like there's no way I'm going back for that. You know what I mean? So I hate to say it, but you're probably gonna have to re-roll this card at some point. The quality 7 is good, but it does not affect the proc, the HP proc. But the flame resist is something you kind of really don't need. And then the cooldown, if you remove the Black Panther card, which I'm sure you probably are going to at some point, you're gonna lose that 9% cooldown, and you're gonna need to be able to make up for that. That's where the New Avenger #9 is gonna come in at. Yeah, because you're gonna re-roll this one also at some point as well. What do you have going on the Luna card? Yeah, you're gonna re-roll this one at some point as well also. So the ones that are worth, so here's the issue. You've got kind of a hybrid deck of sorts. With some somewhat obsolete cards that I would not advise building. But where your deck is and certain limitations in terms of getting like certain premium cards, I really wouldn't advise unequipping Uncanny Avengers. I would probably keep that. Well, let's see. All attack, cooldown, ignore defense, crit rate, crit damage. Okay. Then we got physical attack. All attack, cooldown, crit damage. Let me take a closer look at those cards before I just, dry ass. Let me see here. So this thing can roll max HP physical attack, so that's actually not bad. And it can roll energy attack. And then all defense. Then ignore defense. And then the other one, Black Panther 166. So one's ignore defense and the other one is crit damage. I would probably keep the Black Panther 166 for the crit damage. So gonna be a little bit harder to cap than ignore defense. Physical attack, max HP, crit rate. That's 3 really good stats on the same thing. Which means you can roll physical energy on this thing. And then all defense. Or you can roll max HP energy, all defense. So you got a few options, but you need to roll energy in this slot. That's kind of the drawback. So yeah, unequip one, keep the other. But I would choose which one of them, you know what I mean? And then the other you can always throw in a PvP deck to kind of help you out with things like cooldown, ignore defense, things like that you're gonna kind of want to make up for. That's what I did with mine. And then just re-roll it to something like HP, or if it has HP already in it, it kind of helps you out that way. The Luna card, you just need to re-roll it for a better quality and the best stats. I don't think that's the best in slot for Luna, but I could be wrong. But I've been trying to re-roll this card for the longest time. What I'm trying to get myself is the max HP, and then max HP all defense or max HP recovery rate. I'll take either one of those with the energy attack proc. Quality 5 or better. Hopefully a quality 6 or 7. But I would take either one of those rolls. Max HP, energy attack, recovery rate. I think I kind of settled for that, but it's like, hey, I got the max HP and the energy attack rocking on this thing. At any point, I can roll this thing over to a PvP deck and then bolster my PvE performance with that thing. And then what was the other card I was looking at for you? The Ghost Rider card we already talked about. So I got a feeling you already know what you need to do for that one. And then this one we already talked about as well. So Now, as far as recommendations for cards for a PvP deck, well, I can't really recommend what I'm doing, but I can show you. Love y'all too. Love you too, bro. So let me pick up right quick. So I'm trying to balance a lot of attack with the most attack I can with a shitload of HP. And the best way that I can figure about going, the best way I can figure going about that is something like what I'm doing right here. And the 3 cards that matter are the ones, the Crafting Quest card, New Avengers #9 or some equivalent, and then the Marvel Zombies card. I do believe there's at least one other card that gives the HP proc, but New Avengers #9 is better. Because you can roll all attack and cooldown on this thing in the bottom, as well as an all attack increase and a max HP with HP on the card itself, gives a lot of survivability and a decent amount of attack. This thing here has Ignore Dodge for the Marvel Zombies. Really, really rare stat for a card. It's the only one like it in the game. Also gives max HP, all attack. You can roll energy attack on this thing in the 4th slot, and then in the 5th slot, you can roll something like crit rate or crowd control time on an off day with the max HP proc, and then you also got it going again over here. And this is kind of the perfect roll. Yeah, you can get attack speed, but I think dodge is better. Energy defense, it's only one-sided. The lightning resist and poison resist are useless. So the dodge along with the all attack, along with the HP proc, with cooldown HP and ignore defense, making up for a lot of that cooldown and ignore defense that you need to have in a card set. You're getting a lot of those stats in one card along with a lot of survivability and HP. Now here's the kicker. This activates when dodging, the HP proc right here. Down here at the bottom, right? 20%. And I have tested this and it works. But I can't recommend it. But it's what I'm gonna do. This gives HP 5% clip when hit, 20%, 15-second uptime with cooldown, all of that jazz, right? This joker right here gives 5% chance attacking when attacking, right? So the thing is, you can't have, and it's 1 or 2 more cards that I have HP procs, right? But the thing is, you can't have more than one of the same proc, right? This is why you can't have the Luna card with, say, I think it's the Scarlet Witch card. Or no, I can't have this one with, say, the Crescent card because the Crescent card also has the physical attack proc when attacking, it's the same exact proc, so they won't stack. But because the activation rates are different, for this, it's when dodging. For this, for the Gwenpool number 17, it's with dodging. For this guy here, New Avengers number 9, it's when getting hit. For the Marvel Zombies 2009, Marvel Zombies Return 2009 number 1, it's when attacking. So all three of these can and have and will go off at the same time. It's ridiculous, bro. It's absolutely bonkers. And they will stack. And nobody runs it. So I'm just trying to get the deck together so I can showcase it and get it out there. Or at least nobody that I've seen runs it. Now I haven't been in the weeds like that. But okay, that's what's up. I will take it. Yeah, my guy. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that right now. Yeah, I got a lot of these to finish. Yeah. Mm. You want 3 Odin's Blessing. Yeah, I'm good with that, actually. Mm. Oh no, y'all just trying to eat up CTPs now. We're not doing that. They're not using mutant materials before an update. I think I might have to come back and finish that one off in one whop. All right. Hold on right quick. Let me reset the joint. Okay. And let's open him up. At least one of y'all need a carry. I'm not getting that away. Not just yet. Like that team racing driver. Some say. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that takes care of that. World Boss Ultron. Yeah, I need to do one day where I just like I already have everything done and just get on here and try to do as many world bosses. Not even the new ones, like the old world boss. And try to climb to 99 and then come back through. And continue climbing, sort of situation. Yep. Should have known it was coming. Wow. Is he gonna go out on the one bar thing? Cause my guy can't do the damage in time. Or it's probably gonna get clapped. Ooh, that was close. They're gonna get clapped in the end. Cause I can't move. Yep. Been nice if Ronan could have pulled it off in the clutch, but never should have been in that situation. Alright, let's rock it out. Oops. Nope, not falling for the okie doke. Okay, that's one. Wow, I tried to get the switch and couldn't get it, but that's okay. Yeah, I was finna say, y'all better get it to me. Freaking Ultron every time. Yeah, but about the thumbnail, we got bombarded with the news. So about the thumbnail to this video, completely caught off guard, but Would not mind seeing an Inhumans update, especially with the like I said, the recent changes to ABX ABL. There are not a lot of options as far as Inhumans go. That are doing damage on the scale that you need to be able to compete or to be able to push a decent score. Whereas with most other restrictions, you at least have options. What in the world happened? Me not get clapped on nothing stupid. All right. I thought I switched. Come on now. All right, there we go. About time. Yeah, this should go much quicker with Mephisto. Especially double supported up. Oh, he actually clapped me. Really? That was cute. Yeah. We ain't going for the same thing twice. We're gonna go on and slide you, homeboy. And get the double up on the Schwammy. I don't think I have anybody else that can compete this high right now, so. Maybe. I'm not sure if he's gonna have enough proper support. Yeah. Yeah, real limited bunch. We'll just go for it, no strikers. Wow. He just loves to waste freaking time. It's like you just did this bullshit. Yeah, I knew it. As soon as they made me do that damn stutter step, I knew I wasn't gonna make it. Here, let's do this. Because we about to have to call it here in a little bit anyway. Are you serious? Yep, this is why I hate Ultron. All right. I finish him off. Yes, sir. Yeah, might as well use what strikers I got. Oh, he went early. Are you serious, bro? This guy, he pulls out all the tricks. Pulls out all the freaking tricks. Made me stutter step and went early. Mm-hmm. Wow, for no damn reason. All right, I'll take it. Let's see here. We also need to go. Let's go ahead and get that out the way. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna pass on that. What all is in the selection this go round? So 6-star mega rank up ticket, tier 4 mats, 3-star uniform upgrade ticket, tier 2 mats, every flavor of CTP up into the Liberation. Too bad the chest does not drop premium cards. That's the only bad thing. And the amount of premium cards they ask you to throw at this thing, they really should consider upgrading that. But it is what it is. Anywho, I'm gonna finish the rest of this collecting and stuff more than likely off stream. Do some minor tweaks and whatnot and upgrades. And I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Let me let you guys know where I am with Kang right quick. We are at 28, 29, 29, and 29 on the gears, but they are killing me. Oh wow, 60. That is such a rip. A 60 for that one, or this one would be nice right about now. Yep. So is that last gear that's gonna, they just like, I don't know. The first couple were cool, and then they've just been eating through materials with Kang, bro. It's absolutely nuts. It's absolutely nuts. But anyways, I was hoping I was gonna be able to get them to 29, but I guess not. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a stream. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys once again. Y'all like, comment, share. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. And sound off in the comments for your boy. And we will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away.
yeah, I'm about to fade away. Cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me,